Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode. Well, we're actually back for the season 15 premiere.
Those are the what is it? I always say the same joke every season premiere, and I forget the fireworks. Those are the fireworks.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, yes, we've been on a hiatus. So many things going on. First and foremost, Miss Suhei will be taking a little bit of a break.
A small one.
Yeah, and then we had the master class.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have those surveys or no? Okay, cool.
I'm sure that
No
we
problem.
do have them somewhere.
A lot of stuff going on, but we're back.
Mm-hmm.
We know y'all are fiends and y'all been waiting for us to come back. We know y'all fiends and y'all know what that means. We're serving you your dose weekly of discipline therapy where not everything is completely free, as we're on Patreon for a plethora of exclusive content for you to see. But what is free is a judgment free, sucker free, censor free, sensitive free, and some liberty. God and the ancient ancestors are great, and that means everything else is straight. So go grab your wine, popcorn, and my favorite roll of blunt, but make sure the children are in bed. Why? Because we have that soul food and vulgar conversation prepare your mind to be fed. Light one up, inhale life, and exhale strife. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, you are tuned in to the Discipline Therapy Podcast.
We're back. All
right.
right. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So season 15 premiere,
All right.
episode 155.
Okay.
What are great questions to ask on a date?
Yes. All right. So
Yeah, these are really good questions, by the way, sir.
So first and foremost, I have some questions already. Do you see any questions here that you that you have in your mind that we don't have here?
Not off the top, and when I was, going over them, I think they're all great questions.
Okay, so let me see. One question I might not have on here that we're gonna go through the questions and then some statements might be me personally, like as far as sex. Now maybe there's not a question for the first date, but like third date, fourth date, you know, it might be in here. Oh yeah, it is in here. Oh no, forget it. All right, so we'll go through it. Okay, so first and foremost, we're gonna get into this question. Might be a opinion. And then we're gonna get into the dating questions. So mainly this question is why do most modern females want a ring, but also an exit strategy?
I think that it's from obviously their trauma and it's unhealed, their ego. But also I feel like, and this answer is more for like a general one. I feel like people nowadays are like not genuine in what they're showing is going on in their life. Like if they're going on vacations or like they're almost, not everybody, but I feel like most people are living a lie kind of, right? So they're just like portraying what they want people to think their life really is. And so I feel like if a girl is like that, then waiting for getting that ring, that means he's gonna have to see how she's living right now. You know what I mean? What if she's living on a couch or her bed is on the floor, it has no frame? Like now she has to really let him into that space. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like she's gonna want an exit strategy.
Okay. Me personally, why I believe this is the influence that they associate themselves around allow to influence them. Friends, family. The main reason, competition. I think a lot more modern
With him?
females want to compete with other females. Look at me, you're inadequate, whatnot. Like, they care more about the ring and the marriage. No. They care more about the ring and the wedding versus the marriage and being a wife. The exit strategy. Once again, the influencers. the feminist friends perhaps they have in their group, girl, don't be a housewife. You're not gonna have anything. What if it doesn't work out? Already planting those seeds,
Mm-hmm.
so now the woman is thinking, well, what if it doesn't work out? And I'm gonna get to this down the line. Um, but modern females, or maybe even males too, but this is specifically for females, modern females don't really look at forever. They look at it as, like I always said, I have a no divorce clause, right? And any woman or women engaging with me on a romantic, intimate level should think that way too. Like, why get married to think about, well, if
Divorce.
we don't like each other anymore, we'll wake up one day, I don't love you. Like,
Mm.
why would you think that way? So, modern females actually think, well, yeah, if you're not doing this, that, and the third, if you're not giving me attention, if you're not, I have the outlet, so it's just it's the I'll agree with you, it's the trauma. I'm just expounding.
Mm-hmm.
They grew up in a one parental household, or having a one parental figure, to look up to. So they don't really believe that marriage or relationship is sustainable because of perhaps what they're saying, which is the trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So for them it's like, yeah, I really want this, because the woman is still diving into her nature. Women want relationships more than men. It's in the woman's nature to want a relationship more than a man, no matter what she's gone through, no matter what she's doing right now. Older woman, divorced, going on trips, just want companionship. A young girl, got her OnlyFans. Eventually, they all want the same thing, because they get in their feelings, even if they say friends with benefits. It's better, sex is better, whatever. We going on trips, he's doing stuff. They get in their feelings. They lie. And they don't even know, sometimes they lie in the beginning and say friends with benefits. They the ones that end up catching feelings. So because the woman is more emotional, she's going to want to be in that relationship. She's built to be in a relationship. So this is why they want the ring, because they're just diving into their nature. But then the exit strategy is like the getting in their masculine. So they're fighting both. Like, they want the relationship, they want the commitment, they want the marriage, they want the ring, because that's ancestry, that's their DNA. They're diving into their nature. But then when they're like exit strategy, it's the trauma you talk about. It's and that's getting them higher in their masculine, because the feminine is wounded. The feminine energy is wounded. So in that moment, it's like, well, what if this doesn't work out? I gotta have mine. I gotta work. What if you meet a man who you believe is good and doing all the right things, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna give you a gift and make you a housewife? No, 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 I gotta work, it's my identity. That's a lie. That's a lie. She's covering up the trauma. Oh yeah, it's my work. It ain't, and you ain't, a woman ain't built to work. You going against your ancestry. Every woman would want that. So why is she saying, "Oh no, 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 I don't want to do that. I don't want to have a handout. I carry my own. I gotta work my identity." No, that's trauma talking. That's the woman in her masculine. You got the guy clearly showing you what it like, and there's evidence there. There's evidence there. Maybe you know how much he makes or whatever it is. You see that he got a good heart. He's a provider regardless. There's evidence there that he's gonna be. But the woman wants the exit strategy, the trauma. Yeah, but that's what I think. Okay, so here are some great questions for dating. One, how do you handle conflict?
That is a really great question. I didn't answer that.
Yeah, so these are not like answering.
Oh,
So they're just
good. I
questions.
was gonna say
And if you want to expound on them, you can.
answer.
So
Yeah, I did.
it's go ahead.
I did. I also put, have you always handled it that way? And if not, how did you change that and when?
Did you always handle it that way?
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Conflict?
Conflict. Like, did you always handle it that way? And if not, did you
Oh, when they
change?
tell you how they handle
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I think this is great
Mm-hmm.
to ask for both genders. The man asks the woman asks the man.
Mm-hmm.
Um because it's going to happen. Men and women don't agree, you know. And the dating process is very imperative to get you to agree most of the relationship versus less, because there's actually people that actually moved in together that never talked about gender roles. So it's kind of good to have
or
those.
parenting sometimes. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah. So it's kind of good to already get into that. Like, maybe not right off the bat, like the first date, but second date, definitely. It should not, you should not be waiting like for a date or whatnot. Some people are just fucking after the first date. Some people don't even go on dates, and just fucking right away. You know, so different types of people, but the conversation should definitely be had in there. What are you gonna say?
I was gonna say, now would be the time for you guys to get your pencil and paper, because if you don't have these questions and you're out there dating, these are really good questions to ask. That we're giving you ideas here.
So another one, what are you learning to trust in your life?
That's a good one.
What kind of relationship did you have with yourself? Is it the same or has it changed? So these are very important. Also forgiving yourself. Like, did you forgive yourself in the last relationship? Do you know what you did? Do you know what they did? Maybe I'm rushing or jumping bullets. That's very important. You know, now we go to the relationship with parents. I always ask that straight off the bat. Is your father around? I always ask that straight off the bat. The woman's relationship with her father is paramount. Basically how she's gonna treat you. If she never served her dad, good luck. If she never respected her dad, good luck, gentlemen. Do you have any resentment to any of
That's a
them,
good one.
towards any of them, if they aren't together?
And also, ladies, that's a good question to ask the men too. Was your father around? Like, how did you, who
Yeah.
did you fashion yourself? Not idolize. You know what I'm trying to say. Like, who
Both.
did you
But
watch?
all
Who
of
did you
that.
learn from?
You're right.
You know, how to
Fashion,
be a man. You know what I
idolize.
mean?
Yeah.
That's important for a girl a woman to ask a man too.
Yeah. I concur. How was your last relationship? It's important for me. How long was it as well? That's important, because if the woman's been in 5 relationships in the past 2 years, what's your longest? Damn, your longest was 3 months. Damn, your longest was 6 months. Damn, your longest was a year. That's a problem. Like, imagine I'm the CEO and the woman, or vice versa. The woman's the CEO. I'm trying to get the job, or I'm the CEO. The woman's trying to get the job, and her resume is stacked with mad jobs. And it's like, it's 3 months every time. Like, 3 months you leave a job, 6 months you leave a job. Like, damn, you haven't been in a job for more than 4 years. Why? You got so much jobs on your resume. I could see you have a lot of work experience, but why bouncing around? Like, do you know what you want to do? Do you know where your career wants to be? Like, that's how I'm gonna feel about the job analogy.
Right.
With
Was it
this,
personal problems? You know, can you get along with others? But that's something
yeah,
different.
yeah. Because for the woman aspect, for me, in my mind, it's like, okay, your job or great quality is retaining the man. Because most men already view women as sexual objects. So once he's gone. You're gonna keep him coming back. It's something about you. But if you retained him for a long duration of time, longevity, now we gotta look at her. Like, what qualities does she have? So if you don't have guys sticking around, I'm gonna just think, you've been in mad jobs. Like, you just quit or you got fired? I'm gonna ask those things. Oh, I quit. If you're walking away, that's still a red flag, because it's like letting me know that you either have a lot of backup plans too, because most people don't just go job to job to job. Like, they find something before they leave. So you had a lot of backup plans, because remember, it's 3 months. 3 months you leave, 3 months you leave, 3 months you leave, or 6 months or whatnot. It's suspect. You know, so how long was it is very important for me. But a woman should ask that too, because sometimes a woman might be comparing herself. Damn, 5 years. damn, 7 years? Shit, I ain't stand a chance. All this, she's comparing, but she should actually think of that as a green flag. Wow, he's about commitment.
Yeah.
He been there long. Something is working. He's about commitment.
He
So
doesn't run.
yes, he doesn't run. If the woman is healed, she's gonna value that. Wow, he's been in long-term relationships. He's not just out here knocking shit down every week, or he got a new girl every month. He's actually about commitment. If the woman is healed, she's gonna put two and two together. But if she's not, her intuition's not high level, so she's not gonna be able to put the two together. She's gonna be comparing herself. Damn, you got all this time with this past ex. Shit, what can I do? What can I do here? Can I last that long? She's not gonna be thinking positive. It's gonna be negative because she's fucked up in every way. Let me see. What would your ex or exes say about you?
That's a good one.
What would you say about your ex or exes? How did it end? And why did it end? All these are very important. Because especially for women, because women and accountability don't ever go in the same category and sentence. Yeah. Because it just wasn't taught that. And if you are holding women accountable today, especially, it looks like you're a misogynist, you look like a bad guy, you're a bully, you're picking on women. It's just a lot of negative connotations that flare up with these actions because it's not familiar to women, and it's not familiar for men to do it to women, right? So this is very important because most women, especially from my experience, all they tell me is the good stuff. I follow up with the question of to now put them in a hole. Nah, I trap you of saying, well, what did you do bad? What do you feel your weakness was? What do you feel your flaws was? That's one of the questions here. What was your bad habits? Why do you think he left? Oh, he cheated many times. Why do you think so? Oh, he's just a horny dog. He's just selfish. He's just greedy. Okay. Understandable. You didn't think you played a part in that? If you don't think you played a part in that, that's fine. But do you think you did? See, I asked like the tough questions now. I was like, I'm not gonna make it like blissful. Cause most women will, it's an interview, it's the interview for the job. They're gonna make themselves look the best. Nah, I can't tell this dude I'm crazy from day one. Let him let him get there. Yeah. Let him get there. Let me get there. You know what I'm saying? I'll retain this right now.
Yeah, she's gonna get there eventually.
Yeah. What part did you take in it ending? Yeah. Craziest thing you've did with your ex or exes. That's very important. I'm sure we all done crazy stuff. Me, I could talk about one woman who gave me the most problems. I've talked about her several times on this podcast. Locked them in a closet. That's probably the craziest thing I've done. Never done that to any other woman. Wow. And she put her hands on me. And no other woman ever put her hands on me. That's because she came from like so much abuse, and only way she knew how to communicate is yelling. There's so much unhealed trauma was there that it just carried on over. So it doesn't matter what I did. But that I could say was the craziest thing I've done. I've never like stalked somebody or made sure they was home or whatever. Oh, you ain't going nowhere. No, that's probably the craziest thing I've done because I knew she was afraid of the dark. So that's crazy. And plus, she was Latina. So like that's crazy. Because if you not dominant and you deal with Latinas, yo, you've heard myths about them, doing shit, right? Like stabbing dudes and doing whatnot, doing crazy shit. So that's
ripping their clothes.
Yeah,
off,
that's crazy for you to do with those type of women. So that's like people will look at me and be like, damn, yo, how are you still breathing? You see what I'm saying? So I could say that was like a craziest moment for me. But not a lot. Some people won't even say that was crazy.
My craziest moment
that was understandable because another guy could beat the fuck out of you. Maybe that's what you deserve, to some people go say. You know?
I think the craziest thing I did was I stabbed my ex. That was obviously when Latina. I was hella unhealed.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but That was the craziest thing I ever did. He lived
Mm.
people. He didn't. It wasn't that bad.
Mm.
That was only this one.
That shit's crazy. Mm.
Long time ago, better.
That shit like attempted murder.
But he didn't die.
You
Although
wild.
I did
You
tell,
wild for that.
I called my sister up and I was
Shit.
crying and I was like, I stabbed him, and she was 8 months pregnant with
Damn.
Benny. You know Benny.
Oh shit.
And she came with her big old belly, and I was sitting outside my house, and she comes and she hugs me, and I'm crying, and she hugs me, and then she grabs me by the shoulder, and she goes, "Where's the body?" I was like, "The body's upstairs packing. Get out of here. What are you talking about? He's leaving." What body, you sicko?
I'm curious too, and I'm not trying to push
it's not
this
even
upon
funny, yeah.
women and not make them take accountability.
Yeah,
but
it was
I'm
bad.
I'm just curious to know what would have made you, like, you know what I'm saying, get to that brink. You know, like maybe not even what he did, but like you don't even need to tell me or the audience. But I'm just saying, like, that's wild. Like, what did he do? Like, was it some physical abuse where it was like, damn, my life is on the line. I'm like a cat that you got. I'm the nicest cat in the world, but you're backing me up against a corner, so I gotta scratch you to get away. Could it be a situation like that? Like, who knows? I mean, only you know.
I don't mind telling the story.
Okay.
You know what it was? Is that my dad had called and the Christmas lights were still up, and he was like, "Can you tell him to, to take them down?" And I could already hear him in the back, and I'm not gonna do that, and I'm like just already like fighting. So I was like, "Don't worry, I'll do it. Don't worry." I didn't talk. This is what I'm telling my dad. I'll do it. Don't worry. So he hears it, and now I'm like, "You don't have to do anything. Don't worry about it. I will fix it. I will handle it myself." And it was just in my ear, my ear, constant. I just freaking saw red, grabbed the knife, and I went to stab him in his, because he followed me downstairs. I was like, "Don't do it. Don't worry about it." And I left.
Damn.
And he followed downstairs, still talking shit in my ear.
There was no like physical abuse.
Not then, but not then.
Okay. Yeah, you wild.
Yeah.
You were fucked up. Imagine you tell somebody that on the first date, they fucking running.
I have. Like, I stabbed somebody, but it wasn't. And no, actually, that's what I say. It wasn't my fault.
Yeah.
Wow, look at that right here.
I said this shit in the beginning.
Well, this was back in the days, but I said I wasn't healed.
Do you think you healed from your last relationship? That's very important.
Very important.
What makes you say or think you healed? That's very important. So let me help some people out because they don't know if they're healed or they aren't, and they don't know if they need help or they don't. Comparisons. You're not healed.
Yep.
100%. Comparisons.
100%.
For example, my man did all the cooking. She's telling you that in the new relationship. Yep. I didn't do nothing. I was just in charge of doing it. He loved to cook. He was a chef. I ain't doing none of that shit. I ain't gonna do nothing that's gonna make you remember him. Just an example. But it's like, oh, you're not over that. I used to get in trouble for this constantly. So it's like, oh, you're not healed from that. It could be a guy that is the woman is doing all the right things, and he's just like, when's the ball gonna drop? She's so good. Why can't she just? I always come home. Everything's nicely done. Shit, before I could even say it, my food's on the table. I sit at the head of the table.
He's probably not used to
that. Damn, why won't she call me an idiot? Why won't she throw something? Not healed.
Yeah, you know why?
Past.
Because they feel comfortable with that. That's something that they know. That's comfortability.
Yeah, the psyche, right? So the psyche gets used to something for a long time. Chaos.
I'm used to that. I know how to live in that environment.
Yeah. So, yup. Facts. So now that there's peace, it's fucking you up.
Uncomfortable. Yeah, they're like, what's going on right now? But once you find that peace, that's how you know you're on the right track.
When do you think enough time has passed to begin dating again? So for me, I could say take a year off.
I think so too.
I could say take a year off, and then start up again. Love yourself again. Find your hobbies. Find your identity. Women, don't turn to feminism. That shit gonna fuck you up if you then get into a relationship and want to be traditional. Remember, the brain is getting used to something. Don't fall to feminism. You
Also,
know,
I feel like it depends on if it was a bad breakup. That year off, which I think is a very good time. You can dig deep into what your part was into it, because it's always, when you're dancing with somebody, it's you have a partner, so he's not the only one that messed up. You're not the only one that messed up. You have to find where your part that you played in, and taking that time off will help you with that.
yeah. Let me see. So, yeah, I would say that probably like the appropriate time frame. I mean, it depends on the person. Some people could be 2 years. Depends. You could have been in an 8-year relationship, 10-year relationship, 15-year relationship, marriage, 20-year marriage, got divorced. Like it might take you 3 years to just get back out there. It might
Yeah.
take you a year. It might take you 2 years. It depends on
On
how
the
you do
person, yeah.
going about it. Whenever you feel like you're ready. One of the biggest things is you gotta forgive yourself. You gotta love yourself again. That's how you could go back out there and start to
Mm-hmm.
you know, start to date, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to give love to somebody else. You gotta respect yourself. You gotta love yourself.
Yeah.
You gotta have your boundaries. It's not like the man getting with the woman because she's the best looking woman I ever had, best sex I ever had. The woman getting with, oh, I finally got a provider, and you're just saying yes to everything, even though it
Yeah.
might be immoral. Having boundaries is paramount. What's your purpose for dating? This is like the main course of the meal. This is the main course of the meal for this topic. What is your purpose for dating? Free meals? You're bored? Seeking marriage? A ring? It's a hobby for you? Lonely? Just sleeping with people? What is your purpose for dating? That's very important. I think women should ask men that, and I think men should ask women that. Same thing with what you bring to the table. It's a dating question.
Mm-hmm.
100% dating question. If I give you the platform to talk about your qualities, it lets me know how confident you are, how secure you are, and you love and respect yourself. But when you tell me things like, I'm bringing me to the table, when you're telling me things like, well, you'll find out, when you're telling me things like, oh, it's a stupid question, you're unhealed. You're unhealed. You're unaware
Wait,
of what you bring.
can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You just said right now, like, when you ask that question, like you get to see how they feel about themselves, how confident they are, and
Yeah.
all that. Is it then? Wouldn't them be like telling you, "Oh, I have my master's in this," like a form of confidence?
Not for women.
Not for, okay.
Not for women. Women don't build their confidence from accomplishments and
Oh,
competency in that regard of an economical aspect.
not even modern women, you don't think? Because of
No,
how
they
things
might
are.
think it, but it's not. I'm telling you how the man thinks. Like
Oh,
the
like
woman
that's
could,
not important. Like you
yeah, the
shouldn't.
woman,
Got
the
you. Okay.
woman. That's because that's a masculine thing. The
Okay.
modern woman is masculine, and even if the man is unfamiliar with energy, they pick up on it subconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
So he's gonna just, oh shit, this is what I would talk about. Like I
Okay.
would talk about how much books I did in under a year.
Mm-hmm.
I would talk about how many degrees I have. I would talk about how I was able to go to this corporation, that corporation, this, that, and bring leadership and make it elevate to that next level. I'm a divine entity. The energy, I step into a room, I elevate it. Whoever I'm in their life, I elevate that. When the woman is doing that, the man is just like, it's weird for him. Even if he's, no matter what lifestyle, beta, alpha, traditional, modern, it's weird. It's not familiarizing well with his psyche, because he's going to be thinking, if I have a purpose for dating that is conducive to legacy, what you just said right now has nothing to do with family, has nothing to do with contributing to my legacy. Maybe only depending on where his endeavors are. Okay, I'm a businessman. She was an ex-businesswoman. Her brain. I got ideas. Does she have a vision? Okay, she's valuable in that aspect. But if you have a guy that's not, he's not going to care about that. He's not going to care about your money. He's not going to care about your accolades, degrees, and stuff of that nature. But the woman could think that's confidence. He's not going to think it's confidence. You see? So it's not really about what the woman thinks. She's projecting. It's not really about how the man really thinks. He's projecting. And the end of the day, right? It's us going into our roles. It's us going into our roles. So the woman could say, well, I make all this money and da-da-da-da, and I look so good. Why doesn't he want me? Your energy is why he doesn't want you. But you're not saying that, because if you saw that as a woman, damn, I would jump on that. If I'm great, I'm amazing, I would jump on me. But you're not putting yourself in his shoes. That's what it is. We lack empathy today.
Man, dude.
So we not putting in the person's shoes. Why would you think a man thought like you, girl? You see, like, guy, why would you think a woman thought like you? That's what I mean. So they might think it's confident, but the man doesn't think that. And when it pertains to the relationship aspect, the man's opinion matters more of you than the woman's opinion mattered more of him. Because he's the one that's going to, like, choose you as his wife.
These next questions, are they the same for when you're on a date?
So let me see. Do you think the purpose for dating is the same if there's a big age gap between the man and woman? Depends. That's like this is not a question for dating. It's just now perspective for you and I. Like, what do you think about this one?
Oh, excuse me. Oh, I think, because I wrote it down. I think it depends on the people involved and what they have been through. What is the question? Is the purpose for dating the same if there's a big age gap
between the men and women?
Yeah, between the men. I think it depends on the people and what they've been through. If it's an older man with a younger woman, possibly it could be the same for dating. Older woman, younger man, maybe not. Probably not.
Yeah, it most likely not, depending on where he is and what he wants to do in the future. You know, the younger man, the older man, younger woman, that's common. That's common. Provider aspect, it's just common. You know, maybe even sugar daddy, sugar baby dynamic.
Yeah,
it's common. You know, and plus, women always seek more mature men, more independent men, more men who got their stuff together. And maybe the young woman looks at the older guy that way. Now, the younger man, older woman, and it really depends. Like, is it like 5 years? She's 5 years. He's 30. She's 35. Is it he's 30? She's 40. Like, what's the age gap? He's 30. She's 32. You understand what I'm saying? It's not older women, younger men. It's just age gap, right? So is it the same for them? Yeah, I agree with you, depending on where they are, but also their goals. Because a man could be 31 with the 34-year-old. You know, he could be 33 and she could be 36, 37.
But that's
but
not
they
a big
both
age gap, right? 36. I mean,
it's still
in the 30s.
It's still a gap.
I know, but your question.
Okay, so big age gap. So 10 years? 10 years
is a big age gap.
Okay, so 10 years.
I would say 7 and up, pretty big.
Okay, so a guy who's 30 with a 37-year-old woman, 37-year-old woman, 30-year-old man.
They might have.
They might, depending on if he's traditional. Because if he's traditional, he's gonna see family, he's gonna see legacy, he's gonna see whatnot. And she has to be traditional. If she's 37, been there, done that, married already, got my kids, he doesn't have kids. She's just like, no, I'm not gonna do that again. I did that for 17 years. Got married when I was 20. Parents forced me.
Maybe, yeah.
Parents forced me. I'm not doing that again. A baby? Hell no. You know how much time I had to pop these guys out? I ain't ready to do that. As a matter of fact, this dude left. How do I know you ain't gonna leave? So I ain't ready to do that. So at that moment, she might just be thinking, take trips. I got my money right now. Just want some dick. Pause, companionship. I don't really want something serious. Just a guy I could see on a weekly basis. We don't even have to see each other every day. Just give me once a week. Just give me a couple of hours. It could be. That could be. It depends on what she says, but it's also what we are articulating to each other. So maybe that rocks with him because they've articulated
Right.
that. Oh, listen, I'm getting my shit together. I don't really got time for this. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Boom. But maybe it's a situation like, no, I do want this. And then it's like she's just saying, "Oh yeah, I want it too." But she don't really think like that. She just saw a really nice, handsome young man. I don't want to fuck with the niggas in my age bracket. Balls, ruffle up balls and all that. She probably don't got stamina. How the sex gonna be? I don't know. I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So, sometimes it's like that.
Yeah.
It's more so like fun. It's not really like that big age gap where it's the man is younger.
Mm-hmm.
It's not often like building together. It's more common like fun.
Yeah, for both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sexual value for men and women is different. This is a statement and you could agree or disagree. Women have it because of validation from men, and men aren't simply born with it. They build this up and work on their sexual value. Most people correlate sexual value with looks, sexual talents, being in shape, or empaths or highly spiritual people can feel this. It's high sexual energy, and they correlate that with sexual value as well. So you got different types of people that correlate that is subjective for them for sexual value. Do you think this is true?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So it is. Yeah, so the same woman who is, let's say, 40 and the guy is 30, maybe she got her body done, BBL, whatever, still looks good. So in a way, it's like, she's up there, has her kids or whatever, but the fun aspect for him, and then the same thing for her, he's not there maybe financially. He can't take it, but I could take care of myself. But he's handsome. This and that. He probably got a big dick. Pause. He could put it down well. Who knows? Because a lot of women just think of this stuff. They're not going to articulate it. They don't want you to view them a certain way. Women are more perverts than men. They just don't want to be judged.
That's true.
They don't want to be judged. They don't want that resentment from guys. So they might just be thinking right off the bat, they meeting this dude right off the bat. He walk like he packing. Remember, women are more observant than men. He don't look like this. Oh my God, he got muscles, tattoos, whatever. They've been all different types of guys. Tall, maybe race preference. Black. I love his chocolate skin. Oh, that dark like a fucking like this. This black. I like those type of black, and really, really dark. You know what I'm saying? Like it depends, in that regard. But it's what's being articulated and what's not being articulated.
Definitely.
When is the best time to ask if they have children? Were they ever married, or do they want children if they don't have any, or have some, or want some? When do you think is the best time to ask this stuff?
Definitely in the first few conversations.
Of the first date?
Well, some people have their first date after a couple of conversations, talking on the phone or whatever. I think within those conversations, whether it's on a first date or just on the phone talking before you actually go on that date, that should be told in the first few conversations, whenever that is.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I mean, man, I'm the type of person, I ask them straight off the bat. It depends. Like if I met them in person, I'll wait till the first date. If I met them like on social media or something, I'm DMing these questions. You know? So
You're DMing?
Yeah, I'm DMing these questions. So it's like right off the bat.
Yeah. That's what I think.
I'm not. Go ahead.
When I say conversation, it could be text, it could be, whatever it is,
Yeah.
just when you're getting that.
Yeah, I'm not straight up like we first met, whether it was like Walmart or grocery store, whatever, other grocery store, the gym, whatever, park, wherever you met, and you're like right off the bat, hey, you over there? You got kids? No, like that's
It's crazy
crazy. That's
talk.
creepy. That's crazy. Build some type of rapport first. Yeah, so but it's definitely happened right away cuz I think men that don't want to waste their time and men who do invest don't they don't wait.
Yeah. And
Um
plus, how you gonna deny your kids? That's fucked up.
shit. It's fucked up women who do
It's
cuz they
so.
know that's going to be like
Them is
a
the type of women that
a
I
red
think would
flag.
kill their kids to get into another relationship. How are you gonna deny your children?
Mhm. So this next one I believe to be true. You could agree, disagree, and also, ladies and gentlemen, talk about talk about it in the comments. Women are more, or the live chat. Women are more abusive in relationships than men. We tend to not believe this because some of us only associate abuse with simply sexual or physical. Research shows that, especially modern couples, the women actually take on the more dominant roles and are more aggressive and assertive in the relationships today. Do you believe this to be true?
Um, I definitely believe that women can be very abusive, and I guess depending on the man or the situation, yes, they can be more abusive, especially verbally and emotionally. I think, um, not that I think they're kind of neck and neck, but definitely women, it gets overlooked a lot because for all the reasons that you said.
I'm also going to add psychologically
Mm-hmm.
manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
mind games, gaslighting, love bombing. Um, you're paranoid, gaslighting. Like, yo, all that is abuse psychologically. Um, You're right. Emotional and verbal. Because a lot of women can't do anything to us physical. So where else can they
Mm-hmm.
win?
Yeah.
When they're losing an argument, they hit low. Now, all women do this. It takes either a father, a man coming into her life to make her identify. That way she holds herself accountable. All women do this without knowing they do it.
All women do what? Be
Abuse.
abusive?
Yes, abuse. Now, there are those guys that very, very unlucky. It's not commonly heard of, but there's like a handful maybe that get physically abused.
Hmm. Yep. I
You know what
mean,
I'm
but that
saying? Like
also.
me personally, I told you about the situation. Her putting her hands on me. Now,
Mm-hmm.
mind you, if I didn't have a God in me, even when I was younger, 28 years old, yo, even when I was younger, if I didn't have a God in me, if I didn't see my parents together, my grandparents together, parents still together 43 years, I could have fucked her up. Because naturally, as a man, you don't challenge a man like that. That's fighting. You don't
Mm.
ever do that. Because now I'm gonna look at you as a man and I'm gonna attack you like a man. I didn't do that because there's a God in me. But at the same time, I still got my pride. You ain't getting away with that. You ain't getting away with that still. You ain't getting away with that. My pride, my ego. So I'm gonna do something. It's not gonna be physical, but I'm gonna do something. So in a sense of like there's guys that take it. They take it, they get slapped around or whatever. I saw a video, airport, the woman was screaming, I
Mm-hmm.
hate you.
I
You
saw that.
dragged me out. Like, why was she crying? Because he
Awful.
he woke her up and was like, hey, we gotta pick up our flight. I hate you. And then the guy that was recording, she turned back. You recording this, you idiot. Like, yo, she's verbally eviscerating
Mm-hmm.
him. And he's just there, like, calm down, relax. He's calm, taking it like a beta. He's taking it. But
Awful.
what can he do, right? Because if he does something
Walk
physically,
away.
he's going to jail.
He should
Walk
break
away,
up
leave
with
her at
her.
the airport.
Yup, leave her. Exactly.
Leave her
Find
at
your
the
way home
airport.
now, Ingrid.
You know, but yeah, women are more abusive than men. And we don't look at this because we just associate it with one or two aspects. That's why we don't believe it. But it's true. And if y'all don't believe me, y'all could look this up too.
Mm-hmm.
In today's modern era, has status become more prominent than actual game?
In today's modern era, yes, definitely. Somebody could have status and have no game whatsoever. Can't you know can't speak right. Doesn't know how to articulate well. And it's just, I guess, more like a popularity contest. You know what I mean? Like who is being pushed out in front of you more. Some people don't even have talent and they're pushed out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right. It could also be, let's take this beyond, because we don't just do surface level here. Let's take this beyond a job, nepotism. The man or woman is born with status.
Yeah.
Nepotism. Crazy, right?
Insane.
I mean, I'm a big fan of WWE, and I'm not downplaying this. No hate, but I'm just giving an example. The Samoans, they taking over now, and they keep having kids, and that's gonna keep WWE going. The Samoans are taking over WWE.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's good, but I'm just giving them example. Nepotism.
Definitely.
You got so much real, like, you really got talent, or your dad's name, your mom's name, what they accomplished here prior to you. You know what I'm saying? We look at, let's talk about it, Bronny James.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Bron did something that a lot of men couldn't do. A lot of people couldn't do. So yeah, good for you, because white privilege is a thing. So yeah, do your thing. But it's a fact. And a lot of people gonna come out to Bronny. They gonna test him. They gonna test this gangster. They gonna see how good he really is. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, he gonna have his dad there to be like, contracts and whatnot, and tell players, you better watch out and stuff. Okay. But how long you gonna be riding in that shadow for? Eventually you wanna build your own.
Yeah.
But we talking about stuff like this too. So can he really, like, in this have game? And I'm not just picking on Bronny. I'm talking about the WWE. I'm talking about a job. The manager, CEO hires his nephew.
Not only that, the presidents of the United States put their sons-in-laws in charge of this, and you're in the cabinet. Then where has this person even?
They don't even have a college degree. They don't have the repertoire. It's a fact.
Yeah,
it's a fact. How do you like to have sex? Are you monogamous or poly? Now, this is not the first date. Eventually you get there. I think that's very important.
I think I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you again, but modern people, that's definitely a first date question.
You know why? I feel like this should be asked, because eventually you're gonna get intimate.
Yeah, it's important.
So number one, right? You got a lot of married couples who cheat because they never told their husband they were kinky, or their wife. They never told them they had a dark desire about something. And sometimes, like, that leads to cheating. You know, are you monogamous or poly? That's something that needs to be aware. I ask questions like, okay, you're a single mom, you say. So no government assistance. Are you co-parenting? Yeah, for both. You're not a single mom, because I'm a technical beast. So you could be a single mom in your mentality because you live in different households. Maybe you're providing the most for him, especially on a monetary aspect, but you're not a single mom. Do you co-parent? That's important, because co-parenting is like poly. Being a territorial possessive man, I have a problem with that. Not a little one, a major problem. You see? So, like, that's a question I would ask. I feel like it should. Women should ask men, are you monogamous? Are you poly? Are you single? Men should ask women that. How do you like to have sex? That's very important. I don't think that should be the first date, but eventually you should get there. I don't like get to that point where the first date, she's not gonna most likely know I'm a dom. I'm feeling her out. Second or third, she gonna know, because at that moment it's like, listen, I don't live a regular lifestyle. I have certain boundaries, guidelines, rules. I have certain principles that I follow myself, and I don't have regular sex. So here, I really feel like we're connecting and we could take it there. But before we take it there to the bedroom, here's a list of things I like. I want to know if you like the same things inside the bedroom. I want to know how you like to have sex. That's very important. Versus you going in there and just, you show up with a whip or something. Not saying I do this. I'm not saying I do this, but just giving them a visual for their, visual aid. For them to build image in their head. You showing up with a whip. All right, baby. And she's like, what the fuck you doing? Whoa. Get the fuck out of here. Now she's putting her pants on, running.
Giving her a heart attack.
Because it's like, yo, you didn't tell me about this. And she's in the right. Yeah. Because you didn't put this on the table in the beginning. Listen, I like to have unconventional sex. Is that something you into? I like erotic asphyxiation. Choking a little bit, like, is that something you're into? Do you, like, is that something you're into? I take complete control in there. Do you have a problem with that? Is that something you're into or not? Like, I take control outside of bed. I do this. I got these rules, lists, whatever. What's something that we can negotiate on? Something that's non-negotiable. So I think that's very important. Last but not least, what are your views on the family structure? Are you spiritual or believe in some type of higher power? Now, for me personally, I asked this on the first date before even the sex.
Yeah, that's way more important than that.
Because I'm thinking about building. So even if the woman is a little bit older than me, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, I'm still thinking about building. Even if I had a wife and children, I'm still thinking about building. So she's going to be there in some type of like fashion. You know what I'm saying? Even if, I don't want to get, because I live a different lifestyle. So yeah, I'm traditional, but I'm also a dominant that engages in BDSM proactively. That I'm not giving up too. So it's a double whammy. Some guys are traditional, but they're not doms. And then you got some doms, but they ain't traditional. I'm both. So it's like, it's still like building. Even if you see what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm always going to ask, well, what do you think about the family structure? What do you think? I'm not going to have my family already and then now be like, well, yeah, let me connect with the feminist. She's just going to do what she wants. Let me connect with the masculine woman. She's just going to do what she wants. The possessive territorial man is still going to want that. And they might think, yo, you got your family already. You got a wife. Worry about her. Let me have a roster. No. And that's where it's like hard for the woman to like give her all. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, boom, in that regard. But it's the special women who can still give their all knowing this, because it's like, yo, I respect you being straight up. I respect this. You're putting the ball in my court to see if I'm going to run with it or just, no, you throw me the ball. I don't want it. I'm running away, or taking the ball and trying to shoot it in the hoop. You see? So
I think that is what definitely separates you from like other men and any other man who does that. If you're just honest and straightforward, you get a whole lot more. And more like what's meant for you. If you tell the woman what, like him, if he tells a woman that and she leaves, then she wasn't meant to be in his life. But if he tells her and she stays, well, then maybe something can come out of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Something good.
definitely. Final thoughts.
I think that these questions, y'all should have wrote them down, because these were really good questions to ask on a first date, getting to know somebody. And you know what? I think that we did a big service here, because so many people don't know what questions to ask. They freeze. They're like, what do I do?
You read my mind.
I'm like, what's happening right now?
You read my mind.
You know what I mean? So I think these questions were fantastic. I hope everybody uses them when you have that opportunity.
I think it's very important, shows like these and other podcasts, because yo, like, dating relationships are very important. Connection is why we're here. It is extremely imperative that we ask the right questions. The next generation is fucked. They're fucked. They don't have the right role models. They didn't see it growing up.
Yeah.
So they need education. It's not the circumstance. Like we said in the season 14. Well, I said it. Y'all ladies didn't agree. But maybe after I said my point, y'all kind of saw my side. Maybe y'all still didn't agree, but y'all saw my side. It's not the circumstance you're born into. It's the education, and then taking that and running with it and applying it. People say knowledge is fuel for power, and I've said it in the past. But as you get older, it's actually applied knowledge.
Definitely.
It's applied knowledge, because knowledge is there. If you want to research it, go to the libraries, whatever, history, whatever. I don't trust Google, or I do other things. You know what I'm saying? But even certain things like that, whatever research, it's there, but it's about applying it. That's what's the change. That's the healing.
Definitely.
So You know, people could just be running around, oh, it's the best thing. Like it could be a woman. I'm doing the right thing. Because they say that boss, independent, you don't need a man. That's the way of life. I'm doing the right thing. Then they find out about masculine and feminine energy. Then they find out about spirituality. Then they find out what the opposite sex doesn't like, and they are not lesbian. Maybe if they're lesbian, they could be a hardcore feminist forever, but they're not lesbian. They want a man eventually. They want the touch of a man. They don't want to keep playing with the toy that looks like the male genital organ.
I thought you were gonna say
Still
something else.
lying, talking about they don't need them, but yeah, you still need it. Using things, writing things, technology, whatever, a platform. You're in the business. Things created, OnlyFans created by men. Platforms you're still using, you need a man. But it's the education. It's now making people think, damn, yo, he's right. He just said that. That's right. I didn't even put two and two together. It's the education. It's people speaking about this. It's people being technical beasts. It's people being technical. Now making people understand. I'm not just picking on the women, men too. Because a man who's beta in his feminine energy does not realize he's unhealed. It's not how God made you. That's not God's law. You're not walking in your power. But he's listening to the woman saying that's misogynistic if he's masculine and dominant. And he believes that's to be true. And it's a feminist telling him. And he don't know what a feminist is. They don't know each other. That's crazy. You know, she's more in her masculine and he's more in his feminine. And they don't know that. You know, so it's the education. That's what it comes down to. You said your final thoughts, right?
Yep.
So for me, it goes back to healing and how we're gonna heal, being more spiritually intelligent. That's how we're gonna heal. Because when you're spiritually intelligent, you're gonna build intuition and you're gonna have great discernment skills. And you'll be able to ask the right questions pertaining to your future because you want your future to be secured. Women, men, you want to choose the right woman that's gonna build and help assist in that legacy because you're not gonna be on this earth like forever. You know, so you know it's like it's choosing right. You get into these situations where it's like dudes are now more beta and in their emotions because they don't like the mom. So they don't take care of their kids because they don't like the mom. So they act like the woman. They emotional. So the child suffers. Child had nothing to do with it. They didn't choose to be born. The mom, it's understandable because she's a woman. She getting her emotions. But even then, she's aggressive, masculine. And the children suffer because she doesn't get along with the father. She didn't make the right discernment on who she was gonna let bust inside her. You know he ain't shit. Why you not using condoms? And you're not doing no plan B. You don't believe in abortion. You actually think you could change him like an idiot. Man, you went for the prettiest girl in the world. You didn't give a fuck about her personality. Now she uses your kid against you, dummy. You had a child with her, but you did not use great discernment skills because you did not have a father in your life probably to navigate you through the nature of women. You see, so it's all about knowledge. The family structure is very important, having the mom and the dad there, but they got to be in their core. Because if you have a female feminist mom and a beta father, the woman could still be fucked up. That is a rare situation where she'll still be on the pole and a prostitute because she sees authority in the woman. That's the only rare situation. But most women who grew up with their father and their mother, they're traditional. It's a rare situation where you see the feminist mom and the beta dad because the woman sees authority in the woman, not in her dad. When she sees authority in her dad and the woman is submissive, she's like, I want a man like that. And he's teaching and guiding and he's making the decisions there and telling her how to be. She's like 99%. And I only say 99% because there are 1%. 99% she's not on the pole. 99% she's not posting provocative photos. 99% she doesn't have an OnlyFans. You can tell when these women have gone through this what their trauma is. I don't need to interview them. I know their history before I meet them. I know it. You didn't have a dad in your life. And if he did, he was beta 100%. Because you're doing masculine things. So where do you see that? Because it's not common for the woman to see masculinity or authority in women. Because women follow other women. And boys watch what men do. Not about what they hear. They watch what they do. Oh, my grandfather was putting on a tie. I'm talking about me now. I want to do that. So now he taught me how to tie a tie at 11 years old. And I'm a master at knots. You see, so it's like boys watch what men do. Women listen to what women say. So when you got the feminist mom that's like, oh yeah, you could do it on your own and da-da-da-da-da. Don't let no man do this and da-da-da. She grows up to be that. And now maybe she gets a beta and she has a kid with him and now she's a single mom too because she saw that. So the mom fucks her up. Generational trauma continues. The cycle is not broken like a revolving door. So God forbid she has a daughter too. If she don't heal herself, she's bestowing that upon her daughter. It's a fucked up world because of parenting. So it starts with man and woman getting together. I want to see what it looks like when a good man and a good woman get together. I want to see what it looks like when a healthy man and a healthy woman get together. Because those are going to be some powerful kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So once again, ladies and gentlemen, you were tuned in to the season 15 premiere. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to tell you right now. So Suhei's taking a bit of a break. When I'm going to be running this by myself, you have my word. It's going to be extremely intense. So season 15 is another level up. Yo, I promise you right now, and I'm warning you, buckle your mental seatbelts because it's gonna be a roller coaster. That's a fact. Once again, you are tuned in to one of the most raw, uncut, unapologetic, real, no holds barred, passionate, and intense. Oh man, raw. This Buntebi podcast. Peace.